you're still in the shores of Africa or any part around the world, not in the Western world, if you want to go into data analytics and you're looking for somewhere to learn from, I won't advise you to learn from this Western world because it's quite expensive. If you're in Africa or you're here looking at watching me live and you're here in Canada and you feel that you want to go, learn data analytics, I would advise you to learn it from the shores of Africa. Why? Because it is cheaper. And secondly, if you go for job interview, you see some people talking about, before you can work for any company here in Canada, you need that Canadian experience. That is not always true. I've gone to several interviews here in Canada for this data analytics position. The only thing they ask you is, do you have that experience, or do you have, what project have you done? What project have you done? Not necessarily have you any Canadian experience or have you any Western world experience. You ask what project have you done? And I would advise anybody, if you want to learn data analytics, you learn it in the shores of Africa. One, because it is cheap, and secondly, you go to a boot camp that offer a project-based method of teaching, because it doesn't make sense where you just give the theoretical aspect. After learning everything, when you get to the job interview, then they start asking you questions. You can't even answer. Why? Because you have not done any project. So I want to advise anybody that want to learn data analytics to go for boot camp that is they offer project based. And if I want to advise you, I will advise you to go to Amdo Analytics because they are tested and trusted. That's what I have to say about that.
All right, thank you very much for that wonderful contribution, Victor. You said something, you said project-based, and that was it, okay? And most people, they will be asking you, what have you done? What have you done? So I do advise people, actually, that learning any technical skills, especially all these data analytics, okay? See,
Yes.
showcase it out there. Let people know that this is what you do. Your LinkedIn is there for you to put in all these things that you are doing. Let people know that, okay, this is who I am and this is what I do. Because people will be looking at, okay, what have you done? Not what is your experience. I know a friend that the guy left Nigeria last year, I think first quarter of last year. Okay, no, 2022. So he was working here in Nigeria as a banker, and then he left. When he got to Canada, same Canada, when he got there, he has to start looking for a job. Then he acquired our bootcamp program. And then during the program, because actually what we do is project based, right? So when he got there, he said something because he told me, he said that they were asking him, what have you done? And it was the same project that we do in the classroom and the same custom project, everything that we do both during the class and the custom project. That was actually what he shared with them, that okay, this is what I have done. Like one over it, I have worked with social company and all that, and this is the yeah. So and that's how people get employed. So sometimes it's actually not I want to get one probably when I get there, I have to just do anyhow job to get this experience. Just put in projects out there, let people know that this is who I am, this is what I do. And he said something, go for project-based trainings. Project-based trainings, okay? And not people that will just out there and they will teach you this normal PDF thing, and they will give you one probably one handout. Go and read. We have a lot of students that are doing their masters out there that we handle. I and my team, we handle their projects. We handle their projects. Okay. Thank you very much for that wonderful contribution. And I have my very good senior colleague in the house, Dr. Maxwell. You're welcome, sir. All right. So I have another question here for you. So if someone is interested in data analytics, what steps should they take to specialize in that area? Now I am let me say I'm a data enthusiast. I'm very, very interested in this data analytics. What are the steps that you feel that I should take to specialize in that, being a data analyst?
One thing I believe in this life is, that's a very interesting question. One thing I believe in this life is, anything you want to do in this life, first of all, believe in yourself. If you believe in yourself, then you find a good mentor. A mentor mustn't necessarily be a person. It might be a boot camp, it might be a school. You believe in yourself first, then you find a very good mentor in form of a boot camp. And the rest will be history. That's just all I have to say for anybody that want to go into data analytics. You want to switch. It mustn't necessarily you had any background in IT or any background in data analytics. Because when I switched from engineering to the IT space. I never had any background in IT or data analytics. I just believed that, okay, this is what I can do. And with the necessary resources I had from that bootcamp, and it was just a history for me, like, it made it very possible for me, to achieve my goals.
Yeah, you said something, mentorship, and that's actually true. If you want to go far in life, in your career, in your field, just get a mentor. Mentorship is very, very important. Okay, a mentor is actually that person that will guide you, hold your hands, tell you the truth. And this is actually some of our mistakes so that you will not make the same mistake. I think last time we had this YouTube live, we talked about that mentorship very well, and people actually learned a lot. I myself, I learned a lot for that mentorship. And the person that was on call that day with us was one of my very good mentors in the industry, and he actually spoke. He spoke very well about that. That's one contribution, Victor. So, in what ways can a good skill contribute to the successful settlement and integration into Canadian society?
Not only as a data analyst, imagine yourself being a data analyst and you got that skill set. And when you get to Canada, the comparative advantage, you have that comparative advantage. In fact, in general aspect, what I would say is that the labor market integration for any society you go to around the world, for me, I feel that if you can actually integrate into their labor system, that is the labor force, you can actually integrate into that system easily. Why? Because if you look at the labor markets, it talks about the health sector, the banking sector, the finance sector. That is, for me, I think that the labor market is actually the blueprint of any system you go around the world, like any country, the system of any country. For me, it's built around the labor system, because without that labor system, I don't think that any system can function. So, for me, if you can actually, integrate into the labor system perfectly, like integrate into the labor system very well, and with ease, it's very easy for you, to integrate into the system very well. Let's say, for instance, if you talk of any country, let's look at the financial sector. You talk of the health sector and how the government has started. I think it's only these three sectors. It has made up at least 70% of that system of that country. So if you can easily, integrate into the labor system, it's very easy for you to navigate the system of that country. That's just what I have to say about that.
Thank you very much for that. You can actually integrate into any one of these systems. Then you are good to go. You are good to go. Thank you very much for that. Okay, can you share any source? I know that you said something about the men that are actually moving, but let's hear from you again. Let's ask this again. Okay, can you share any success stories of immigrants who have leveraged their skills to excel in their careers or business in Canada?
Yes, sorry for cutting you short. That is all. So when he was done with that, he applied for this job. Initially, he got an offer to work with the company in UK while in Nigeria. He started earning in pounds while he was in Nigeria, still in school. We found out when this guy wasn't coming to class, then we started asking questions. Then we found out that, this guy has gotten an offer. He was living in Imo State, to be precise. He was working for a company in the UK, that's in the United Kingdom. When for some time after we graduated from school, then the guy later moved to Berlin, to go and work for another bigger company. He got a bigger offer, to go work for a bigger company in Berlin. So what I would advise anybody that wants to do anything, that if you want to really learn anything, you want to switch into the IT space, and you see that if I'm done with this thing, where will I get this job? Or if I'm done with this with this career? How will I get money to travel abroad? It doesn't really matter. If you can optimize your LinkedIn, like you can arrange your LinkedIn and submit those certificates, you are good to go. Because your location doesn't really matter, because there are thousands of companies here with LMI, that is LMI sponsored companies who are willing to sponsor foreign workers, work for them remotely, not necessarily coming to Canada here to come and work, or maybe US or any Western work. So I advise you that if it's something that you want to do, you just go for it. And once you understand the way the world is evolving, with time to come, the whole world, I don't know how I will put it, the world as in general, we move from analog to digital. And when we talk about digital, we're talking about IT. So, and data. You see this thing called gold. How we pressure gold, how gold is important and how currency is important. Time will come where data will be very important. You will treasure this data and treasure gold and this thing, because it's one of the most valuable assets this world will ever have.
Wow, thank you very much. You said that there will be time that we treasure data more than every other thing in the world. Wow. According to statistics, I heard that I think so years to come, right? Years to come, most of the job that people do can actually be doing by those that have these technical skills. That simply means that if you don't have technical skills, time is coming when the person will be out of job.
Exactly.
Right? You said something that I love, that I want to ask you a question on that. You said that a friend of yours dropped out from school and then moved into IT full.
Exactly.
Now I want to ask, do you feel that people without educational background can function well in technology?
Obviously. Obviously. It mustn't necessarily you going to school, to go study 4 years. It's good, to go to school, to go acquire that skill. But there are other options which you can also navigate, to still hit that target point. That is going to boot camps, doing your 4 months course. Just go for a 4-month course and you are good to go. And the good thing that I said earlier, the project-based method of teaching, the project-based method of learning is one of the best things you can actually pack yourself if you want to go into the IT space. Because most companies abroad, they don't really need you all those your certificate. What they want is, what project have you done? What have you done? What project have you done? Even the fact that they don't have any experience in that field, but what project have you done? And if I want to only advise anybody that I want to go into IT space that are looking to study data analytics, as I said earlier, after analytics is the shortest club for such skills.
All right, thank you very much. You said something, and then that just bounce back to project. Okay. Now he said something that it's actually not about educational background. People believe that okay, even if though I'm a graduate and I have this knowledge, all right, and I don't have any background in computer science. I don't have any background in doing all this Python coding back then in university. So what Victor is saying here is that it doesn't matter if you have this bootcamp, right, and they can actually bring these things down to you, project based, you can easily learn these things. Okay, I know a sister, all right, one of my students, I think last year, she's a July cohort. She said something. When I was discussing with her, she told me that her brother, who is actually not a graduate, is doing well in the tech. And she said something that it's not really that it's true that her brother, that she know that it's not really about education because she's a barrister. She's doing well. But I think the way she sang that day, I feel that her brother probably dropped out from university. And the way she said, this my brother is doing well and he didn't even go anywhere and he's doing well. So simply means that actually tech is not about your educational background. It's not about I didn't study computer science back then in university. I studied economics, and then by the grace of God, we are doing well in tech. Okay, it simply means that you want to acquire this technical skill, go for project-based company. And he said something. Amda Analytics is here to hold their hands. We have people, experts that they were in actually in the industry that will hold their hands and lead it through. Okay, I think the last question we have for you here. So far, thank you very much for that, all your contributions, Victor.
I'm sorry,
Yes.
because I need to teach you something. You keep asking me, but do I have any example? I'm a typical example because I never had any background in IT. I switched into IT when I came to Canada here. Though I switched into IT, I got that that advice. One of my friends who's into IT here asked me that Because my mindset was when I get to Canada here, I was actually coming for the health sector. If you go to Nigeria, you go to any Western and any country in Africa, at the shores of Africa, you see people keep talking about, nursing, health sector, nursing, money is there, health sector. But the thing they fail to understand, quite all right, there's money in the health sector, like you being a nurse here in Canada, if you registered nurse or a laboratory nurse in the house. There's enough money, in the health sector. But one thing people fail to understand is you go for skills that the flexibility is there, that you balance your work and your personal life. That's one thing I always understand since I arrived in Canada here, to balance that your work and personal life. And that's one thing, that IT space is there to give you. Balance that your work and personal life. And you see, for instance, like you're on a vacation in Dubai or on a vacation in any part of the world, you see yourself working while on vacation because you just need only your laptop. And I even have another example of my friend who lives in Munich. He actually traveled to get married during that is sometimes last year, I think during December period. He traveled to Nigeria to go get married. But though he's into the IT space, he deals in machine learning. It's also about data analytics. I think machine learning and data analytics. This guy is actually in Nigeria doing his wedding. When he was done with his wedding, during his honeymoon, he's actually working from Nigeria for a company in Germany here. So one thing I would like to advise everybody, if you are going for any career path, you go for something that that will balance that your work and your personal life, because that is the most important thing. Because you might be getting that money, but that life and that your work and personal life, if it's not balanced, there's nothing to write about that. Because at the end of the day, you're not getting that fulfillment that you ever dreamt of. Because you can see some persons might be saying, I just need the money, or I want to go and cash out this money, I won't get this money. That is not the end goal. The end goal is that balance that your work and personal life, and you see everything going for the well. And the good thing is that balancing your work and personal life doesn't really mean that, okay, you want to balance your work and personal life, there's no really money in that IT space. No, you are getting it wrong. There is a lot of money in IT space. And secondly, balancing your work and personal life is something you have to prioritize when going into that skill set or any career you endeavor to go to in your life.
Wow, thank you very much for that, Victor. I think I have to say something about myself as well. Okay. Yeah, so after my service, I got a job offer to work with one of the big company, logistic company, and then in Ikeja, Lagos, Nigeria. So I was like, okay, but at a point, because I'm moving to IT, but not fully to IT. But then I was just telling myself, actually, don't need the job that I can do better if I can go take my time and go into IT. You understand? But at the point, because of if somebody actually want to give me the job, I didn't apply for it. Somebody who is the HR now, the organization for me, okay, submit your CV. I was like, okay, if somebody is trying to help me, okay, let me try to go and do it. At a point, I just got in my spirit that job is not for me. And then it was actually somebody that I brought in that it took over me. Yeah. So, but then I stayed like about there. I got another job that the former job, the first job we are paying me about triple of what the current job that I got was actually said that they're going to pay me. But I was like, okay, it's nothing. I can still take it because I believe so much in tech that okay, if I move into tech space, there's gonna be a lot of opportunities out there. There's gonna be a lot of possibilities, just like you said. And I've been working for over 2 years now. I'm working for over 2 years, if not more than. And I've not been to any office. I'm not been to any office. It's just purely this job.
And one thing some persons need to understand is you might be talking about data analytics and they think that you just have to write in coding, you just have to be coding and coding. No, it's not necessarily coding. If you are good with SQL, you are good to go because most companies here in Canada, if you go for any job interview here, the only skill they ask you, you have that basic skill, which is the SQL. That is, you have that SQL basic skill. And once you understand with SQL, it is something, and why would I even put it? It is user friendly. When I started using SQL and of course, Tableau, because you need to learn visualization if you're into data analytics. I feel that those how will I put it? Those software are something like you are just writing English. Unlike other IT courses, such as maybe either software engineering or cyber security, writing series of codes such as HTML, such as C++, Java. In data analytics, you don't really need all those codes for a start, like all those writing of those massive codes for a start. With SQL, and you are good to go. And once you understand about SQL, it's user friendly, something that you without an IT you don't have any IT background, you can easily learn. I'm a typical example because I don't have any background in IT. Though I studied engineering, but I never had any background in any IT or about coding or anything. But I can tell you that I can write SQL very well. Like if you're writing that SQL, it feels like you're just writing English, talking to the computer in English. You're trying to query a table, like you're trying to get some data from maybe they gave you a database now and they ask you to query that table to get some useful information from here. It's not like you writing English, please give me this thing from here, give me this thing from here, unlike writing those massive code. That's what I have to say about data analytics. The ease at which is great into the system as a data analyst. It doesn't really need all those too much code. All you just have to get is that basic skill, SQL, and yeah, good to go. And of course, Tableau.
Yeah, thank you very much for that wonderful contribution. Yeah, SQL is one of the in-demand technical skill that every data analyst should know it. Like you need to know it. And just like you said, I remember I've encountered someone. I met someone who said to me, see, Eba, I don't want to write anything. I don't want to write any code. I was just telling this guy, writing code in SQL or it's just in programming language. Okay, all you need to do is to understand English. If you can speak English, you can use it SQL. Moreover, I say structured coding language. So if you can speak English, you are good to go. Right? Thank you very much for. Thank you very much. So, guys, if you have any question and you're listening, you have any question, you can easily type the question in the chat section. Let Victor take it up from there. If you have any question, please drop your question. Drop your question, guys. All right. So, thank you for this wonderful section. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate you. Personally, I appreciate you, all your wonderful contributions. I love that today. I myself have learned about that. It's not about health sector now. So if I'm going to Canada, I should come in because I have this technical skill. You understand?
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, come in, I should not bother myself about health. It's not really health.
No,
So people that
the most seriously, you don't really need to bother yourself about going into the health sector. You can even decide to even go into the health sector working as a non-clinical support, a non-clinical worker. That is to say, if you're not a clinical worker, you can be a non-clinical worker. That is to say, working in the IT space because of obviously any big hospital here in Canada or any big sector here in Canada, they must have data that they are dealing with. Do you understand? Have data that they are dealing with, and they need, the data analysts, to help them with those data. Because I feel that any business want to start up, or it mustn't necessarily be the money involved. Because if you want to start up any business, why I feel that data analyst or data analytics is a career something you need to look into or you need to consider going for it. If you want to start any business or you started any business and you have the money, it mustn't necessarily be that money. You need to use that data to do your feasibility analysis to check whether this business is feasible or not. And for you to do that feasibility analysis, you need your data, to run all those feasibility analysis. That is to say, okay, I make this amount this year from these customers here, from this customer, maybe from the shores of Africa, from the shores of Asia, any part of the world. You gather those data, you run your feasibility analysis, you query those data, do some analysis, and you get results from there to tell you whether to set up this business or not. It doesn't necessarily be having that money. It's simply just getting that data. And for you, to go around with those data, you need a data analyst. And the demand for this data analyst is on the rise. That is why I do advise people to opt for that skill. Even if you have another skill, let's say you're into cybersecurity, it is something you can even, you can try to consider and see how it goes from there. And the most important thing is that it is scalable. You can advance, keep advancing, unlike other career that you're just stuck in one position. But for data analysts, you start from entry level data analysts, you keep advancing to data architect, to data science, data engineer, all the way to chief data officer, and there you go. You just be fulfilled in life.
they said it's scary. So I've been in tech for over 4 years now, and I'm still learning. And I'm still learning. Simply means that just like what you said. So it's not actually something that when you acquire, you say that, oh, I'm good with this. No, you continue learning. Okay, from here, from data analytics, I want to move to data science, I want to move to data engineer. Those that work with data pipeline and there. So guys, we are not getting any question. That simply means that it's actually well delivered. Okay. All right. So for those of us that are listening to us that are meeting us first time, okay, Victor is actually a Our brand ambassador, who is everywhere, is on top, is on LinkedIn, is on Twitter, is on Facebook, and he's here on YouTube as well. You can follow him, right? You can follow him. And then as well, our programs, our next cohort will be starting on 9th of March. 9th of March. For those of us that want to start your data analytics journey with us, you are all welcome. We welcome you. And we want to employ you that let you know that this actually not something that you know you will take and you will regret it. No, just like he said, our programs are project based, starting from our SQL, from our Excel, because we treat Excel, okay, and then Power BI and SQL, and people predictive analytics. Some other things we train you on how to use ChatGPT for data analytics. Not just that, there are other benefits that you will get from learning from us, right? And I will always tell people something. We are not just after analytics for nothing, we are after analytics for something. Okay? We represent something, okay? And that's what we represent the value over quantity. Right? So there is actually quality over quantity. We deliver maximum value, maximum value. There are a lot of students out there that have done this training from us. You can check us out on LinkedIn. We're everywhere too. So you can check us out on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok as well. We are there. And this year on YouTube, you can check us out. And then if you have any question, you can always reach out to us, okay? And I want to tell you something. Please start your program now. Start your program now. Don't wait. Okay. For those of us that waited to buy something, you all know what Nigeria is all about now. Okay, you probably said, see that thing, but I'm supposed to buy it in January, but just leave it till February. And now February, the prices are no longer the same. Okay, you don't wait, don't keep yourself holding. Okay, our programs are 200,000 naira if you are paying in naira, and then $200 if you are paying in dollar. Okay, and then we are encouraging you to please register for the program because it's something that you will never regret. We have testimonies out there. You can check us out and you see the amazing things that our students are doing. Now, we are not the tech company that will promise you that we're going to do that and we're not going to do that. It's never and has never happened. Okay. Our program, the next call, will be starting on 9th of March. So we'd like to see you. We would like you to register for our program. Thank you very much, and thank you, Victor, for
Yeah.
wonderful.
Okay, I have to keep something. The price is quite affordable compared to boot camps here in the Western world. You can go for an average of $5,000. For $5,000, learning boot camp here, maybe 4 or 6 months, it goes for like $5,000. So I wouldn't advise anybody, if you are watching me live and you are living in the shores of, maybe you are living in the Western world, maybe it's US or France or you are watching me live. If you want to learn data analytics, you can as well, go with Amda Analytics because it is cheap compared to any boot camp here in Western world. I'm telling you for sure why, because I've done my own research. Seriously, I've done my own research. You can as well do your own research and see what I'm talking about. You go with Amda Analytics, you do, because they are cheap. I keep saying it, they are so cheap, like they are so, the price is quite affordable compared to this Western world. The average you can get, plus or minus 5,000 Canadian dollars or US dollars. That is the cheapest you can get here in Canada. The cheapest you can get is like 5,000. Take out 5,000, if you're doing the exchange rate now, it's way over 6 million naira for just 4 months. Do you understand? And the good thing is that if you are done with Amda Analytics, you can actually use it to apply for jobs here in Canada, to get that job, so long as you have that, you got that basic, project-based method of learning, which is what most companies, want you to get. Because obviously, you can't expect anybody that just graduated from, a boot camp to get that skill set. Where you expect the person to get that skill set, except, doing that project where you want to start from as an entry data level analyst. That's just what I have to chip in.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. And aside from that, okay, we give a reference letter and recommendation letter. In case organizations are asking you, okay, for those people that you have actually worked for, what we do advise our students, because after our training, you go for 1 month custom project. Okay, you can actually use our AMD Analytics as a work experience, because some organizations that they be like, okay, I want probably where have you worked? So you use Ant Analytics as a work experience. You have done internship with us, or you are one of our data consultants. So, and then that simply means that if you apply for a job and they are asking for a recommendation letter or reference letter, we do give it out. And it's actually another benefit for our students.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for that wonderful presentation, Victor. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So, guys, I think we'll come to the end of our our live session. So, if you have any question, please reach out to me or reach out to us or reach out to Victor if you want to. If you have any question for Victor, okay, he's everywhere. Just like I said, he's on TikTok, he's on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. He's everywhere. Okay, reach out to him and then see you in the class. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, Victor. Yeah. Bye. Shoot.